My name is Nancy Pierre, and I am the Chief Executive Officer of We Care, Homecare, and Training Services, located at 714 Broadway, Suite number 3, Paterson, New Jersey. Our phone number is 973-988-4417, and our website is www.ouicarellc.com. Visit us on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. Like and subscribe and share. Share all of this with everyone. And I'm so excited today. Today is our inaugural We Care Home Care 101 episode. And I have some awesome guests here with me today. So I would like to introduce my guest. My guest is Bill Corbett.
Corbett, yeah.
I said it right. And we have another special guest here, but I'm going to let him pop in a little bit. But this conversation that we are prepared to have today is something that I think is going to touch a lot of people's lives. It's going to provide a lot of information. And if you guys have questions, feel free, click on the Facebook, on Facebook Live, and also on our YouTube channel. I open it up to comments. So please share whatever it is you have to say. So Bill, welcome to We Care Home Care 101. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you came. So I reached out to Bill because I know Bill has an awesome caregiver story. And one of the things that I want to shed light on with this podcast, this is something that we do. And I think a lot of times that people don't know the significance of it. And so when we came into creating a home care business or service, it's a business. It's something that you provide in exchange for dollars, but it's so much more than that. And I think that so many people do it sometimes in a thankless fashion, and they need to be recognized. So Bill, I want you to share a little bit about yourself, who you are, and your family,
So, I'm one of 5 kids. Grew up in Allendale, New Jersey. My parents are originally from the Bronx. Both are deceased at this point. And why I'm here today is for my younger brother Mikey, who has Down syndrome.
Okay.
And with talking with you, there were a lot of similarities and things what you're looking for with elder care and home care, and it's a lot of the things that we deal with him on a daily basis.
Got you.
And trying to figure out how to maneuver through the system to figure out ways to make the healthcare system work for us, and with extra care. And he has an aide that comes in several times a week, depending on the weeks. And our family is very involved in helping out with all aspects of his life.
Wonderful, wonderful. So caregiving, as I think I was just, starting to describe, is something that happens, and a lot of times we don't really, look at the importance of it. And I want to talk a little bit about you as a power of attorney or executor, and how you play that role for your brother.
So prior to my mom passing, she actually had us set up as all of the 4 of the siblings were going to be his caregiver. And over time, when she passed, our attorney actually told us that it was easier to have 1 or 2 people to be the actual,
Decision makers,
because it becomes so difficult with all different aspects. So we actually chose, it was kind of just thrown out as an option to have the youngest and oldest, to be his actual legal guardians.
Right.
So that's how we broke it up. However, everyone else is fully involved in his day-to-day life.
Right.
Okay.
And people play different roles. Like, I think you would tell me about your sister. What
Yeah.
was her role?
So my sister does probably the brunt of, his caregiving.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, she's able to be home and, she's out of work now, she's
Right.
retired.
Uh-huh.
So she does a bulk of the work, and she's actually part of the program from the state where.
The PPP,
Yes, where the.
Personal Preference Program. And we'll talk about that at another
Okay.
time. Go ahead.
So, just like elder care, it's very difficult to find people to come in and do simple daily activities that they need help with.
Right.
Okay, shopping, he can go to the store, he'll shop, but he won't know what he's paying for at the end of the day.
Got you.
So, having someone to do those things,
The activities of daily living, right?
yep.
And
absolutely.
simplifying it and making sure that the right decisions are made for him.
Correct. So what my mom was a big advocate before she passed and worked with the mayor in our town to promote what he had an idea was to use the monies from the state to provide housing for special needs, because there were a couple kids in our town that had special needs.
Mhm.
So he went to Trenton and worked with them and actually got this. His was the first development that was built under the special needs care
In Bergen
in
County.
Bergen County,
Wonderful.
in Allendale. There's now 2 other locations in the town, and it's become a trademark for the whole state.
Wonderful. That's great to know. So, just a little bit about how you guys decided on who would be the physical caretaker versus who would be the administrator. How did you guys divvy up the roles?
I'd say it's still evolving. It depends on the day,
Right.
different times and who's available.
Right.
But we've tried to break it up as, like I said, my sister, I guess it's being the female in the family. It's
Oh, you went there.
The motherly side. So she takes on a lot of those roles. And the other 3 of us are there to support and do whatever needs to be done.
Wow, she's a woman with 4 brothers. Can you imagine that? I actually have 4 brothers
The
too.
middle.
So that's interesting.
She's gonna kill me for this.
Yeah, she is. I know that she is. So, how has it shaped your life? And when I say that, and I know you shared something with me talking about Mikey being a gift to you all, but how has it shaped your day to day?
I'd say are you the glue of the family? Yes. He'll get on here in a minute.
Yeah.
He's such a gift, back, I remember my father saying, when they found out that he had Downs, what are you gonna do, go and jump off the roof?
Right.
You deal with life as it deals you. And he wasn't expected back when he was born. They didn't know if he was gonna live to 20, 30, and now at 50, almost 3, right?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday, I'll be
Big
53,
birthday.
a big one.
Oh my goodness, that is so good.
So, and I gotta say, for the most part, aside from arthritis and different things that are common, he lives a pretty good life. We joke all the time,
said,
he's
yeah.
gonna outlive us all.
Oh my God. Right? That is funny. That is a good
I'm
joke.
looking at him, his smirks on his face.
So just, I'm going to go into some of the technicalities. You were saying that your mother prepared everything. Like, what are some of the things that she put in place so that you guys could do what it is that you do?
Well, there was, his, the monies that were set aside from him in a trust.
Okay.
So that money.
Creating a trust.
Creating a trust
that's
is the biggest piece that can't be touched by anyone. So that's his money, regardless. We still have to account for it and what goes on in the daily activities, where it comes. If we take money out of it, where does it go to?
Right. And who can take money out of it? Like, is that like regulated?
It's me and there's 2 of us, the executors.
The 2
can take it out.
executors, you guys can do that. Okay.
So we have access to it. Obviously, we can share with the other siblings as well.
Mm-hmm.
A big part, that's one piece, so that money's set aside. The other part was setting up, making sure his health benefits and the things from the state was provided, that he had all the full care and what's available. It was a lot of research on her part to really dig deep and find out, what suits him best, what needs,
That's so amazing.
what insurance, what supplemental insurance works for him.
Wow, that's awesome. So how long have you guys been governing this without her?
14 years.
14
Right.
years.
I thought,
What year did mom die?
I thought was,
Was it?
I thought.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, no, hold on.
Oh,
When did mom die?
2014.
2014.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he does. He knows it
2014.
all.
So
That's why he wants. He was asking if he could start.
Oh, I got you. So that's 10 years.
Yep.
Wow. So she did all of that, put everything
Right.
in place.
Yeah.
And did she come to you guys and have like a formal meeting and say, because people don't want to talk about these things, and I know this is like an odd thing to have this conversation on YouTube
Yeah.
or Facebook for that matter, but I think we have to talk about these things.
Yeah. So, my father passed away at 59.
Wow.
So I was only 22 years old at the time.
Wow.
So there was a lot of on her part looking out for the best interest of him and how to maneuver through the system to find the best avenue and
Right.
and how to take care of him.
So
Yeah,
she survived your father.
She was the caregiver for him up until the end.
Got you.
We really were proponents of getting him in some kind of housing before something happened to her, so he'd be acclimated to the situation.
Got you. So so he's been independently living for the last.
How many years you lived there?
2014.
14 years?
14.
14,
That's amazing.
right? 14 years you're in there? Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So no, that's something that's so big. I think we talk about creating independent living situations for adults dealing with different cognitive and intellectual disabilities, and I think that sometimes there's an issue separating, because parents want to continue to protect, right? And I'm saying that, hearing what you're saying, that your mother understood, and she kind of
It wasn't easy, but she
Okay.
realized letting him get out on his own eventually was going to have to be.
right.
So,
So
it was
for her,
it was a really big thing, a big step.
I bet, because being a caregiver, it's like you need to do it,
Yep.
and you've been doing it for so long. It's like, well, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
What's my next chapter? What am I doing next? Right?
Yep.
So I get that. So, what do you want to tell everybody about your story?
Oh gosh,
Put them on the
that's a
spot.
loaded question.
Put them on the spot. I can ask you a lot of questions.
I will tell you this.
What?
He is, what would you say, the light of our life? Okay?
He said
By
yes.
far, a gift beyond giving.
Oh my God.
He's just, it's amazing the things that he comes up with, and he knows the memory, everyone's birthday, right? How long everything's been going on. He's, what he lacks in some things, in some skills, he makes up for in
It's
in
like
others.
magnified,
It's
right?
unbelievable.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
And it doesn't matter wherever he goes, everyone loves him.
Gravitates to him. That's so
Right.
amazing. He said, "Yep." I love it.
I mean, just recently, my daughter graduated from college, from James Madison, and we took him down, and I mean, just all our friends. He's dancing and playing with them.
Right.
I mean, just having a blast. So
Awesome.
he's the life of the party.
Awesome. So, your siblings. So, just where you guys fit in the order of things.
So I have 2 older brothers, an older sister, me, and then Mike.
Okay, so you guys are the 2 younger.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 peas in the pot. 2 peas
Is that
in
what
the
it is?
pot.
My name is Mike.
He's ready. Mike
He's
is ready.
ready to go. I've been
He's
beating
ready.
I've been
He's
beating
ready.
in all day that he has to speak up and say his name.
I love it.
So-
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So, are your siblings watching?
My son said that he wasn't going to take him to the beach again if he didn't speak up and say his name.
I love it. So no, I'm just trying to figure out like when you have a family of caregivers, because everyone's playing a different role,
Yeah.
and obviously you and your sister, it seems that you guys play a more hands-on role, if I can say that.
Yeah, probably on a daily basis. But everyone has a different, people, we take him out, we go different places, who stops in to see him.
Right.
It changes weekly, really.
Right, and with the dynamic, and that's what it is, right? And so, like, and I'm just gonna share for 2 seconds, like with myself and my siblings, my mother's disabled. She's been bedbound for the last 3 years, and we play different positions. Like I feel like it's a team, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and that's what I'm getting from what you're saying, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And really kind of respecting the different roles and positions that people play, right? So like for me, I'm more, I'll deal with the doctors, I deal with, all of her insurance and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. And my brother takes care of the house because I'm like, there has to be a place for the care to happen. So I could take care of all of that, but if she doesn't have a house to live in and her finances are taken care of, it doesn't make sense, right? So, my sister is more hands-on, or she has been
Yeah.
more hands-on when she was well.
So I do a lot of that, like I take care of his checking account and manage that, pay his rent. We transfer monies as needed to my sister for, groceries. He has a debit card that, is used for that, for the monies that he gets from the state. And also he works, how many days a week do you work? 2 days a week?
20, yeah.
Okay,
It's bad, yeah.
yep.
Okay.
He's trying to interject here, which is fine.
That is perfect.
You're down to 2 days a week now working, right? He works at the Allendale Bar and Grill. He works in the
Nice.
kitchen.
Nice.
And they took him in years ago. Before COVID, he was working 4 days a week, I think, right? And we cut back, but he walks to work. It's right around the corner from where he lives. And it's phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. Definitely.
So that supplements his money.
Right,
for
right,
him
right.
to do,
But I think it does a little more than that, right?
Yeah.
It gives him a purpose. It
Absolutely.
gives him a drive. It gives him.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." So yeah, people have a reason to get up
Yep.
to get something done, and you feel productive,
Yep.
right? And so that's
Absolutely.
amazing, and that's something that we really want to do. And we work with people like in various I deal with a lot of seniors. We
Yep.
work with a lot of seniors. And we do have, we have a young man who's I think he's 21, and he's just now getting his apartment.
Yeah.
And he wants to break out of, being in a family or a home environment. I think he's the only child as well. So he needs to explore what it means to be independent and shop on his own and select items from the grocery shelf.
The biggest thing with him is, with that being independent, it's amazing how many things he does when you make him do it.
Interesting.
If you do it for him, you say, oh, okay, he's smart enough to let you do it.
He's like, yeah,
And,
okay.
but he can do just about anything,
Awesome.
if you let him.
Awesome.
So,
He said yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, that's awesome. So for me, when do you know when, and I think that's what I was asking about your mom, when do you know when to let go? Like when a child begins to walk, when do you stop holding on so that they could walk?
I think it varies by who it is. And
Gotcha.
There's all different levels of, ability and what they can do.
Gotcha.
Just an example, his roommate reads and writes, when I go over there all the time, I see him writing, and he writes stories, he writes lists of things he wants to follow up on, so he's more adept at that, but they all have there's all different pieces to it.
Got you.
Okay, so, what's unique with these guys is, you know, they've been roommates since the inception of the place. So
Interesting.
they've been together for a long time.
Wow. So they form a bond.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. But like you said, everybody's situation is not the same.
Correct.
But that's everybody, right?
It's
It's not. There's no difference there.
I go in sometimes. I'll go in there at night, and they have wrestling parties.
Oh my
where they
God.
watch the wrestling. They get it on pay-per-view and all that.
Oh my
And
God.
you hear all the stories of, you know, so and so didn't do this yesterday, and this one didn't do that, and it's no different than anyone else.
It's not. I just realized what I was saying. No,
Yep,
it's
you're
not.
absolutely right.
That's no different. So that's great. That's so awesome. So, your kids, like knowing that this is their uncle and that you grew up dealing with, you know, some of the challenges.
Yeah.
How did they deal with that?
They love Uncle Mike. Everyone loves Uncle Mike. All of my nieces, nephews, everyone. It's what's not to like. You'll meet him in a couple minutes.
Of course. So, okay. Oh, that was somebody's phone. But so, Mike, yeah, that's his phone. It's his phone. So, I'm just really looking at the team, and I think that's what I'm hearing. Like,
Yep.
Your mom, she created this awesome, like she did the trust, which is something that we're always encouraging people to, you know, read about, learn about, do it early. Don't wait for, you know, I tell people don't wait for an emergency.
Yeah.
There's a 5-year look back. Like if, you know, you, Lord forbid, need services and you haven't done it.
I have friends that have actually reached out to me with some of their friends that have a Down child that is younger, 20 years old, 18 years old, and saying, you know, can you give advice on what they should do? And everyone thinks the same thing, keep them at home and keep them with us. And really, I think the best thing for them is to get them out just like anyone else. Get them out and let them live on their own and learn. So
Oh my goodness.
I think it's a big piece.
And when you do that, and again, this is not, the advice that you're giving is not different from like anybody, right? Get them out, let them be independent so that they can learn what their strengths and weaknesses are, and they can begin their journey and they can be on their way.
Yep,
Oh my goodness.
absolutely.
So that's so interesting. Like it's almost like I would think that you give a different advice, but you're giving the same advice that you would give for anyone.
It's the same, it really is, and it's and I'll say this on behalf of all of them. I think the more chores and tasks they're given, the better they become at all of them, and the more they can do on a daily basis.
Interesting. So you're talking about learning.
Yep.
I studied psychology, but so yeah, you're talking about learning, and that's what it is. Like the more that you get exposed to and you learn how to do, you get better at it.
Yep.
So that is awesome, and it's the same for everyone. But again, it's finding out where that is for each individual.
And there's a lot of, like, on your behalf, there's a lot of programs out there if you're able to go and find them
Okay.
that really help.
Okay.
Transportation.
Okay.
He's got one of his friends that lives in the other development in Allendale. I see him almost every day in the Dunkin' Donuts. He gets dropped off he has transportation. They drop him off at work, they pick him up,
Yeah.
and, you know, they love him in there. And,
So it's coordination.
You know, so it all depends on who it is and how you get set up
Gotcha.
for, you know, what opportunities they have transportation to take them to work, to take them to the YMCA. There's programs at the local Y for them, for swimming, for, you know, exercise, for all different things. They have, I'm not sure so much dance, but they have like exercise classes and all kinds of things like that. So same thing for seniors.
Nice.
The programs that they have at the Y for seniors are very similar to the ones that they have for these kids as well. I say kids.
Kids, I'm like,
It's not a kid anymore.
He's not a kid anymore. Oh my goodness. Oh no, this is such great information. So if you could, like you were saying, that he does have a home health aide or a caregiver or a caretaker, like I'm gonna use all the terms that we use. How often does this person come in?
So his kind of one-on-one comes in it depends on the week, 4 times, 5 times a week
Okay.
to do different things depending on the day. She has
Okay.
kind of a schedule. She works with a lot of the other kids in the developments.
Gotcha.
So different days they do different things.
So she'll have
She'll
like
do shopping, she'll do, they'll go to the library, they'll do different things, it depends on the week.
so, but she'll be there for like 3 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours. How does that work?
How long does Gina come every day? Couple hours?
2
2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, that works. That works. And she gets certain things done, and he gets that interaction, and then he can work. He works as well.
Yep.
So
He gets up and walks to work, it's probably a quarter mile, not even, so he walks to work 2 days a week. It's all great.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It's a great story, because it's a family that we grew up with in town that owns, it's a generational restaurant, and he works in the Aldo Bar and Grill, and they treat him like family. That's awesome.
This is so wonderful. I'm so glad, and I can't wait to hear what Mikey's gonna tell me. He's ready. He's ready to tell me.
He's chomping at the bit.
He's chomping at the bit. So, is there anything you want to share with our audience, like letting them know any particular steps to take? Like you said, people ask you, right?
I think the biggest thing is you have to go out and find, the agencies that work best for the needs that you have for your sibling, mother, father, whatever it is, the situation you're in. And there are programs if you can go out and dig and find them.
Got you. And research, right? Do your due diligence, do your research. Like whatever's going on, you have to do that. And as you're saying too, depending upon what the actual need is, because there are organizations dedicated to those particular
Correct.
things.
So like where he lives, it's completely independent living, but during the day, at the other location in town, there are people from the program that work there. So there are resources for us to go to get information and for depending on what it is, what situation it is.
So you would mean like to speak to someone in the county?
Well, where he lives, now I'm trying to think of the name of the, where I said, there's an organization that has people there that work for all this community.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's the biggest resource for him.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Wonderful.
and that's on a daily basis.
Love it.
Like I said, it's at the other location, but it's walking distance between the two locations.
So there's a lot of coordination that can be done because it's all within the community. So I do like that.
They oversee, if there's issues between roommates or between different facets, if there's issues with the housing, they take care of all that. So it's really
Wonderful. So I think it might be time to bring someone to the fore. I'd like to introduce Michael Corbett.
That's it.
Yay!
What's that? Okay, come on up here. Come on, stand up.
Yeah,
Stand up.
see if he could.
Actually, you can sit right on the table. Sit right on the table.
And you see
Can
her.
you see yourself up there?
See right here.
Wave,
Say
say
hi,
hi.
everybody.
Wave, say hi.
Hi.
Who are you? Mike.
He said, I'm like, I love it.
Don't forget to smile.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you happy to be here today? Yeah.
Yes. You nervous?
No.
No?
Yeah. He said,
That's
no,
a good thing.
no.
You don't have to be nervous, right?
Right. So your brother decided to bring you out so that you could be on a live tape. And how do you feel about that? You good?
I feel good.
Good. You good. I love it. I love it. This is awesome.
So how do you like living where you are? It's good? Yeah? You love the independent part of it, right? And do you have a roommate? Matt.
His name is Matt.
And you guys have been together for a long time, right?
Love
awesome.
it. Love it. Love it. So what does Matt like to do?
What's that?
He does.
He cooks. He likes to cook.
Ah, what does he like to cook?
What else does Matt really like?
Chicken.
What's her name?
Then,
Diana.
Okay.
Diana lives in one of the other developments in town. So that's his partner, right?
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So the social life. So what is the social life like at the facility?
We should all wish we had as much social life as these guys do. What's the social life like where you live? Always something going on, right?
Yeah.
What happens tonight? Tonight's ABG?
Yeah.
One of the dads takes you guys all out?
Yeah.
And then what happens afterwards?
Okay.
Wrestling? Wrestling back at your
They
place?
like wrestling.
You watch the wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So how many people come over to your place?
Me, Matt, Jose, and
Me, Matt, Rose, and Brian.
Brian.
A couple others too sometimes, right? Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So
So they have a
they
good
have a lot
time.
of stuff. Where else? You go out Friday nights, they go to wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You go to local wrestling matches? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Brian lives there. He's in a house with a couple roommates, and he also drives. So
Okay.
like he takes them to different events and stuff. So it's really cool.
That is really cool.
They
Oh
go to the
my
Rockland
God.
Boulder games a lot of times. The
Okay.
minor league team up in Rockland County.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Where else you go?
Games.
Games? Yeah. You sure you're not nervous?
Doing it.
He said a little bit. You don't have to be
It's good.
nervous. You
You're
don't
good.
have to be nervous. It's all good. It's
Yeah.
all good. And so I want to thank you.
Yeah.
Really thank you for coming out today. Such a treat to bring your brother. I didn't ask. He offered. I was going to say I couldn't ask, but I didn't ask. He offered.
Yeah.
So I am so thankful for you guys doing this and coming and sharing part of your story, because I know your story is like huge, right? And I think that it gives people an opportunity to have that conversation at home, to prepare for certain things, and to put certain things in place. So what I always say, not to wait for like an emergency, a tragedy, emergency, and your mom, wow. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. Your mom, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of forethought on that, and making sure that all those things are in place, and putting the different players in
Yeah.
position, and those are things that we need to do, and not think about it in a scary way or a morbid way. It's just part of life.
No, it's much easier when you do it all ahead of time, and you know, when things are in place, it makes it much easier transition.
Of course. Yeah, and you want to do that. And you want to do that for your family.
Yeah.
And you know, people of varying, you know, age groups and you know, whatever their disabilities might be. Like my mother, what she's dealing with for the last 3 years,
Yeah.
right? You know, my mom will be 86 this year. So I'm really excited about that. But just seeing her, you know, transition from someone who was going up and down the stairs, cooking every day and doing whatever she wanted, to now being waited on hand and foot, which is not too bad. I think she might want to get out sometimes, but
Yeah, you want to try and put things in place too, so that they can, you know, have the freedom and still be able to do things.
definitely. So
How old was your
go
mom?
ahead.
How old was mom when she passed? You don't know?
24.
She loves you.
24.
You're crazy.
She wasn't 24. But no, like I said, yeah, she really put a lot of forethought in this, and I think that's important, and it's a huge lesson that I got from your story when you shared it with me.
Yeah.
But then also, because of that, the coordination of the different team players, like, you know, the the effort that you guys put forth as a team
Yep.
to do this is amazing. It's amazing. And of course, they come with their challenges.
Yeah.
Say, like, we can't be all rosy about this, but of course, all of those things come with their challenges. You know, you have children, you have, you know, it's what we call the sandwich generation, where we're taking care of someone and we're taking care of, you know, our children as well.
Yep.
And we're like kind of in between. We're the peanut butter and jelly in the middle. You want to say something?
You like peanut butter and jelly? No?
He said no. Wrong analogy.
Buffalo chicken wrap, right?
Oh, that's what he likes,
Yeah.
a buffalo chicken wrap. Oh my God. So Mikey, do you want to say anything to the audience?
You want to say anything?
Thank you.
You want to say it? Oh,
Thank
there you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming with me.
Thank you so much for gracing We Care. This is We Care, Home Care 101. And today we are seated here with Mikey Corbett and Bill Corbett. And thank you so much for coming. We
No
really
problem.
appreciate it. And he's like, yes, I
Yes.
did this. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to continue to share these stories of people doing amazing things, and how they do it, how they go about doing it, and how we can do it better. You know, we learn from each other's stories. So thank you so much for
Awesome.
coming here and
Not a
sharing. I
problem.
appreciate it.
Glad to share.
Thank you.